The movie begins in Macau, where a city built on lights, casinos, and secrets is shaken by a series of perfectly executed robberies that leave the police humiliated and helpless. Each crime is clean, silent, and surgical, with no witnesses and no usable evidence, as if the criminals can see the future before it happens. At the center of every case is one mysterious figure known only as Shadow, a legendary criminal mastermind who vanished years ago and was believed to be either dead or retired. As fear spreads and pressure mounts, the Macau police realize they are not chasing an ordinary thief, but a ghost who understands police thinking better than the police themselves. Desperate and running out of options, the department makes a controversial decision. They bring back Chung, a retired police tracking expert whose instincts once made him unbeatable in the field. Chung is older now, slower in appearance, but his mind is still razor sharp, and his reputation alone sends a ripple through the department. From the moment he reviews the case files, Chung becomes convinced that Shadow has already anticipated every police move. As the investigation restarts, Chung teams up with a young intelligent officer named Chu, assigning her to learn directly from him, while they quietly begin shadowing a suspect Chung believes may lead them to the truth. The suspect they focus on is a quiet, unassuming man living an ordinary life, someone who appears too harmless to be a criminal mastermind. Chung, however, notices subtle behavioral patterns that others overlook, patterns that match Shadow's old methods. As surveillance intensifies, the tension grows, and within the first stretch of this unfolding hunt, remember not to forget to subscribe to Great Animation Recaps, because it helps us grow together and bring you more epic movie stories like this. With that said, Chung continues his quiet pursuit, fully aware that Shadow may already know he's being watched. Unbeknownst to the police, Shadow is not alone. Operating from the shadows of the digital world is Simon, a brilliant hacker and strategist who coordinates high-level cybercrime while staying invisible. Simon monitors police systems effortlessly, manipulating data and observing Chung's movements in real time. Though Simon respects Shadow deeply, he also fears him, knowing Shadow's methods are ruthless and emotionless. At the same time, Simon begins planning a much larger operation, something that will dwarf all previous robberies and force Shadow into making irreversible choices. As Chung and Chu continue surveillance, doubts arise within the department. Some officers believe they may be following the wrong man, but Chung refuses to back down, confident in his instincts and experience. He insists that Shadow's greatest weapon is deception, hiding behind normalcy and false patterns. To test his theory, Chung deliberately exposes himself, allowing Shadow to notice the tale. Instead of fleeing, Shadow does something unexpected. He approaches Chung openly, greeting him like an old acquaintance, masking danger behind warmth and polite conversation. Chung takes control of the situation by inviting Shadow to his own house for dinner, presenting it as a friendly reunion rather than an interrogation. Shadow accepts warmly, appearing relaxed and unsuspecting. Inside the house, Shadow studies everything carefully, still uncertain whether Chu can be trusted, while Chung quietly observes Shadow's reactions, watching for the smallest mistake. During dinner, Chung asks probing questions, helping him respond in ways that completely erase suspicion. The evening ends peacefully, and Shadow leaves believing he has passed the test. But as soon as the door closes behind him, the truth becomes clear. Both sides are now playing each other, and the trap is already in motion. Through illegal access to police systems, Simon uncovers the truth that Chung and Chu are undercover officers. Realizing the danger this poses to Shadow and the entire criminal network, Simon panics and takes immediate action. He hires a professional killer and orders him to eliminate Chung before the investigation goes any further. At the same time, Simon accelerates his own plan for a massive robbery, understanding that everything is now on a countdown. The pieces are moving fast, and any mistake could collapse the entire operation. The assassin ambushes Chung in a sudden and violent confrontation, unloading bullets with lethal precision. Despite his age, Chung survives using pure experience, dodging gunfire and overpowering the killer in a brutal hand-to-hand fight. The assassin barely escapes with his life, leaving behind undeniable proof that Chung's instincts were right all along. Meanwhile, the police finally realize something is terribly wrong, and Shadow vanishes from his apartment, confirming that the ghost has slipped away once more. As Chung and Chu rush to relocate Shadow, their vehicle is violently rammed by a massive truck, turning the street into a war zone. Armed goons pour out, firing relentlessly as Chung and Chu fight back while injured and disoriented. In the chaos, Chung suddenly remembers a strange Sudoku puzzle Shadow once left behind, realizing it must contain a hidden message. Bleeding and barely standing, Chung orders Chu to return to the station and decode it immediately, convinced it holds the key to Shadow's real plan. The puzzle reveals a terrifying truth. The recent chaos was only a distraction. The real target is a government locker holding $10 billion in seized cryptocurrency, money once owned by a powerful fugitive named Gordon. While police were distracted by gunfights and false leads, the notorious Eagle Gang exploited the opportunity and stole the entire fortune. If you were in Chung's position, realizing the enemy played everyone at once, would you chase the mastermind or secure the stolen fortune first? Tell me what you do in the comments. As police scramble to respond, Shadow heads to an orphanage, a place tied deeply to his past. There, multiple assassins attack him under Simon's orders. But Shadow proves why his legend still inspires fear. He dismantles each attacker with brutal efficiency, showing no mercy and no hesitation. During the fight, Shadow comes face to face with Zhang, the man he once raised like a son. Zhang reveals that he sent the killers, forcing Shadow into an impossible emotional confrontation that ends with Shadow killing the very child he loved, leaving him shattered and shaken. Watching through hidden cameras, Simon learns of Zhang's death and explodes with rage. In a moment of pure fury, he detonates explosives planted throughout the orphanage, destroying it completely. Shadow survives, but the emotional damage is irreversible. At the same time, police confirm the crypto theft and begin chasing the Eagle Gang, realizing the city is collapsing into layered chaos, all orchestrated by Simon's invisible hand. The chase leads to a massive shopping mall, where Chung fights through Eagle Gang members in a relentless close-quarters battle. Simon escapes by changing his clothes mid-chaos, vanishing into the crowd with the crypto data. Shadow, now arrested and placed in a police van, receives a phone call from Simon, who mocks him mercilessly. In that moment, Shadow realizes the truth. Simon manipulated everything, used Zhang as bait, and orchestrated Shadow's capture purely for amusement and control. Consumed by rage and guilt, Shadow attacks the officers transporting him, killing them and escaping with ease. Elsewhere, Chu loses communication when Simon hacks her equipment, throwing police coordination into total disarray. Chu's ally, Thor, takes it upon himself to chase Simon alone, determined to stop him before he reaches the airport. The city fractures into isolated battles, with no one fully aware of where the real danger now lies. At the airport road, Simon finally comes face to face with Shadow. Terrified yet defiant, Simon attempts to kill him, but Shadow strikes first, stabbing Simon to death without hesitation. For the first time, Shadow feels a twisted sense of relief, reclaiming control after losing everything. However, the victory is short-lived. Chu finds Thor dying from his wounds, learning that Shadow killed him as well. Thor dies in Chu's arms, leaving her devastated and fueling her determination to finish the hunt. Days later, the police regroup, but the case is far from over. Chung realizes Shadow cannot personally use the stolen cryptocurrency due to his lack of technical knowledge. This leads them to monitor wealthy businessmen who could help convert the crypto into usable money. Their surveillance pays off when they identify Janagio, a powerful businessman contacted by Shadow to finalize a deal in exchange for the crypto data. Chu confronts Janagio and forces him to reveal the meeting location. At the restaurant, she spots Shadow waiting calmly, as if expecting her. Shadow warns Chu that he knows everything about her, then knocks her unconscious and attempts to flee. Chung arrives just in time, engaging Shadow in a savage final fight that ends with Chung being stabbed and left in critical condition as Shadow escapes once more. Despite her injuries, Chu remembers everything Chung taught her. Using instinct, patience, and observation, she tracks Shadow through the city, guiding other officers into position. Shadow runs, but for the first time, his escape routes close in from every direction. Surrounded and exhausted, he launches a final attack, but Chu overpowers him, throwing him to the ground and placing him under arrest, proving herself at last. Shadow is taken away in chains, his empire destroyed, his allies dead, and his legend finally ended. The department praises Chu for her courage and growth, recognizing that she completed her first major mission under impossible circumstances. Chung survives his injuries, quietly proud of the officer Chu has become, knowing his methods and mindset will live on through her, even as he steps back into the background once more. With the case finally closed and Shadow locked behind bars, the city slowly returns to normal, though the scars of the chaos remain hidden beneath its bright surface. If you enjoyed this intense and cinematic movie recap, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to never miss our next upload. Drop your thoughts in the comments, tell us which scene hit hardest, and keep watching great animation recaps for more epic stories like this.